Are you aware that 70% of pastors constantly fight depression and burnout for the frustration experienced as a result of ministry workload, discouragement, and pressure? We help leaders grow healthy churches. We are excellent at what we do, and we are fast becoming the best of the very best. MagnaCraft Consulting is set up to help both small and large-sized churches become healthier by using proven diagnostics tools, effective retention strategies. We give the right and appropriate and professional advice. We are the certified church consultants with the Society of Church Consulting in the United States of America. Trust us to help you grow. Don't wait till it's too late. You will be glad you did. Call us now on 0802-324-2258. Email contact@magnacraftconsulting.com or magnacraftconsulting@gmail.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram @MagnaCraft Limited. MagnaCraft Consulting, doing church God's way. Hello. Welcome to Monday Morning Matters live broadcast show brought to you by MagnaCraft Consulting Team, anchored by Niyi Dunmade, a certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting in the U.S. Here, each Monday of every week, we address important, relevant, and actionable topics of interest that will help you and your church grow healthier. And now, meet your host, Niyi Dunmade.
Good morning to you. This is Niyi Dunmade on the line, founder, CEO, MagnaCraft Consulting. Coming your way this morning. A beautiful morning to you, all the way from the city of Abuja. I don't know where you are listening to me from. You're connecting. Share this post. Welcome to the 32nd Monday Morning Matter in the year 2025. I'm sure you're going to get value for your time well spent here. This video is not more than 20 minutes, so you can just hook up and make sure that you watch and watch again. Monday Morning Matters has been coming your way for the past 6 years, okay? It has been coming your way for the past 6 years. Over 6 years, we have been coming your way, and so we want to make sure that you keep having value for your time spent here. Welcome everyone to this Facebook live broadcast show and YouTube channel. This broadcast is unedited, is live. It's not edited so just want to make sure that it comes to your doorstep as raw as it is. And so we come every Mondays, 7 a.m. every Mondays, come your way, whether come sunshine or not, because a pastor must usually deliver on a Sunday service. Thank you for hooking up with us, all our fans, all our friends, all our families. I'm so glad that you are part of this live broadcast. You are part of this live broadcast. I am Niyi Dunmade. I'm the founder and the CEO of MagnaCraft Consulting. Yes, my name is Niyi Dunmade. I'm the founder and the CEO of MagnaCraft Consulting. Before I go into the promo and the juice of the day, I want to tell us what MagnaCraft stands for. MagnaCraft Consulting is a church consulting firm that helps local churches to grow healthier through empirical assessment, revitalization, trainings, and strategic blueprint. Okay, that's our vision. That's our mission. And then our vision is to be the leading church health consultancy that creates actionable, sustainable, and adaptable solutions. So when we engage you as a church, we want to do some empirical assessment. We have quite a lot of them. We want to help you with revitalization strategies we have been declining for the past 10 years. We do a lot of training, knowledge transfer, capacity building, and we also help strategic blueprint in the form of ministry action plan for churches. I'm also a certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting and Church Consultation Universities, both in the US. I'm your host every week. Facebook live broadcast show every Monday, 7 a.m. Nigerian time or GMT +1 or West African time, as the case may be. I'm also known as the Church Health Guide of the 21st century. I'm also known as the Church Guide of the 21st century. All right? I want to just let you know that I'm so grateful. A big thank you to everyone who has been commenting, who has been reacting, who has been reaching out to us and telling us how timely some of our content is. I'm so grateful that someone actually is watching behind the camera. All right. Today, we're going to talk about how to build sustainable church structures. And before we do that, that's just to help you prevent burnout and build the kind of growth that your church wants to have. All right, let's do a little bit of promo and then we'll come into the juice of today. So this is Monday Morning Matters coming your way with Niyi Dunmade. We believe that our expertise will be of great benefit to you and your church. And so let's see how we can get the conversation going. First Monday in the month of August, we talked about how to fix broken church systems. How to fix broken church systems. You can reach out to me and see how we can help you rejig your systems to deliver to you what you want for your church. Now, how to build sustainable church structures is what we're going to be doing today in Monday Morning Matters. Of course, next week, we're going to talk about weekly planning for worship service excellence. All right, what is the weekly planning cycle of events that will deliver to you the worship service excellence? And then the last Monday in the month of August, I love this topic so much. Closing the back door in your church. Closing the back door in your church. That's last Monday. And so Dr. Tom Rayner, a fantastic, very sound church consultant. He's been able to come up with some video trainings that will help you. It will shift your mind. It will help you to help your own church. You can use it to also to help other churches revitalize. Let's have your conversation going with us. Or you can reach out to them directly. You want to become a certified church consultant to help your own church, to help other churches. Let's have your conversations going. All right, I've gotten 3 books. One is Church Retention Pathway to Growth. It's on Amazon. Using the QR code or the searching the title on Amazon, you're going to get that book. The second one is Busting Church Growth Myths. Busting Church Growth Myths. I mean, if you don't align your perspective to God's perspective, you'll be frustrated at what God wants to do in your church. And the last one, which is the latest one, hottest in town, is data-driven leadership. How do you interpret data? What is the data you need to put on the table? How do you use those data? How do you harness those data to lead and manage your church well? That's a book that you need to get on your table. And so go on a YouTube channel. You're quite going to see a lot of videos, over 300 videos that we have done in different topics that will help you and help your church. So welcome to Monday Morning Matters, where we help you think clearly and lead effectively. Today, we're going to be talking about a major growth killer. I mean, as a church consultant, I love to look for growth killers, church growth killers, and make sure that you are aware about them so that you are able to deal with them before it deals with the church. So we're going to talk about one major church growth killer in your churches. It's called unsustainable structures. You have a structure, and that structure cannot help you to grow into what God wants you to grow into. Many churches are praying for growth. I know that. I'm yet to see a church that is not praying for growth. I'm yet to see a church that is not desiring growth. But there are structures inhibiting them or hindering them, or they are not strong enough to carry where they are going to. And so because it's not carrying where they are going to, it actually goes back to where they are coming from. And so we want to let you know that growth is not a miracle alone. Yes, we know that planting and watering by certain persons in the church will bring about God bringing the increase, but growth is not a miracle alone. It's also a result of healthy combination of systems. Okay, healthy combination of systems, the planting system, the watering system, and a result of that planting and watering is the increase that we're going to get. You don't build a skyscraper on a faulty foundation. The scriptures in Psalm says, what if the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? And so for every system that a church needs to have, you need to have a foundation for it. You need to make sure that the foundations for those systems are sure, and so the righteous can actually flourish. The righteous can actually be at their best. And so why does structure matters? Okay, structure determines capacity. That's the real key point. All right, structure determines what you're going to get. Structure actually determines how you're going to become. All right, structure will always limit your church growth momentum. So structure determines capacity. If you look at the structure of a building, you can actually say this is the capacity of the building, because you can't carry more than the structure can bear. That is a bitter truth. You cannot carry more than what the structure can bear. Now, a church structure is its invisible skeleton. All right, my skeleton carries my body. If the skeleton does not build up strength and stamina to be able to take the weight of my body, I will not be able to move. I will not be able to sit down. I will not be able to move around, because there is an invisible skeleton inside of me that is making me to keep my structure as a human being. Now, it includes all the invisible skeleton. It includes the systems, teams, leadership layers, policies, procedures, communication pathways, standard operating procedure. Now, some of these things are not seen, but they are structures that are very, very important for a church to be able to grow healthy and also find full expression. Without healthy structures, volunteers are going to waste their energy. They're going to burn out. Leaders will become overbearing, overextended, and members fall through the crack and through giving up to what the ministry workload is throwing at them. Now, the Bible says in Proverbs chapter 24, verse 3 and 4, it says, by wisdom a house is built, and through understanding it is established. And so we need to understand that structure is set up by wisdom, and structure is set up by understanding. Now think about a bus with too many passengers inside of it and no clear driver. Is just going to, it lacks structure. I mean, you can't know who is going to take them from one point to another. And without structure, momentum leads to collapse and not growth. You see, if you lack structure in your church, you will not get growth, but things will begin to collapse in your church. And when things begin to collapse, know of a sure that your structure is not helping you move from where you are to where you want to be. Now, what are the common pitfalls in church structures? What are the common pitfalls in church structures? Now, these are red flags for unsustainable structures in our churches. And we need to look for those red flags so that we can be able to deal with them before the church collapses before our eyes. Okay, now over-reliance. One, over-reliance on the lead pastor. Now, the lead pastor is the one that controls everything. I mean, he has everything in his palm. You cannot do anything meaningful without the senior pastor getting involved. There's this over-reliance on the set man, on the angelos of the church, the lead pastor of the church, the senior pastor of the church, the general superintendent of the church, the general overseer of the church. And you see, if you begin to have that over-reliance, then there's something wrong with your structure. It's a red flag, and it cannot be sustained. You cannot sustain that kind of system, that kind of structure going forward into what God wants you to do. Number two, everything flows through one person. So if you want something to be done and done perfectly well, you need to make sure that everything a church does must flow through one person. Now, the third one is undefined roles. You find the choir doing the work of intercessory. You find intercessory doing the work of protocol. You see, undefined roles, undefined line of responsibility and accountability. Volunteers don't know what is expected. And you see, the thing is, the fact that someone is volunteering does not mean that that person does not need a job description. I mean, a choir member who's singing alto should have a job description. Don't assume that the person knows. Don't assume that the usher who is ushering in a Sunday service knows what he needs to do. We need to put that job description on black and white. Undefined roles, volunteers don't know what's expected of them and how long they're going to serve, or what resources they need to bring on the table for them to volunteer very well. Now, the fourth one is no succession plan. One absence can cause a lot of collapse. I mean, succession plan doesn't necessarily mean the set man alone. I mean, all leadership layers in the church. If that person dies, if that person is sick, if that person is absent, if that person is indisposed, what's going to happen to what that person is doing in that sphere of influence? No succession plan is not just at the peak or the apex, it's also cut across all the leadership layers in the church. Now, the next one is burnout culture. The same few people doing everything. You see, it's better to have 200 people doing one thing than for one person to do 200 things. All right, you need to make sure that you get rid of the burnout culture. Now, the burnout culture is making sure that you have the same set of few people doing everything or doing the major chunk of the ministry workload that a church is up to do. Now, the last one here with the red flags is reactive versus proactive. Now, one thing is sure, that if you want to grow, if a church is 500 and you want to grow into 1,000, you need to be proactive enough to have the structure of the future so that I can get to the future. You cannot structure for the present. You have to be proactive to make sure that the structures and the systems only get attention. All right? You have to be proactive that before a crisis come up, you are able to address the systemic issues and the structural issues that your church has. Okay, so when you know that your church is 1,000 and you want to get into 2,000, can you begin to have the structure to avert the crisis of where you are right now to get to where you want to have in your church? Every system is perfectly designed to get the result it's currently getting. That's what W. Edward Deming said. All right, you are getting what you are getting because of the system and the structure you have put in place. But if you want to get something different, can you begin to upgrade? Can you begin to improve? Can you begin to make sure that you structure for the future so they can get to the future? Now, the next one is sustainable systems and principles behind them. Now, here is how to build sustainability into your church systems and structure. All right, I'm going to rush into this in the next 5 minutes. All right, 1, define and document. Every ministry role must have a job description, must have an objective, must have a goal, must have a detailed standard operating procedure. All right, create visual flow charts. I do that for churches, okay, because it's easier for you to know where there is lack of effectiveness and efficiency. Do a visual flow chart of how decisions are made and tasks are executed. The next one is delegate and empower. Delegate and empower. Train mid-level leaders to carry responsibilities. Don't just be comfortable about the few that is running the entire church. Make sure that you train new people, mid-leaders, to be able to take more of the responsibility so that the top leadership can do a lot of vision casting and do more work with their time. Adopt the 70-30 rule, which means that if someone can do 70% of what you are doing right now, begin to delegate it so that I can do something higher and better. So if someone can do 70% of what you are doing right now, I think it's time for you to be able to delegate it so that the person can also work on himself to get himself up to 80 or 90%. Now, the next one is redeem and rest. Redeem and rest. Build in rest. Sabbath, okay? When God created the world in 6 days, he rested on the 7th day. And that cycle of week, Monday to Saturday, 6 days, and then we rest on the 7th day. Now, build in Sabbath structures. Seasonal breaks can help you understand the cycle of events that is going on in your church. So build in breaks for volunteers. Don't allow volunteers to work in your church round the clock. You need to have some break, have some rotational systems so that people can take a breath away from what they're doing. And when they come back, they come with fresh mind, they come with fresh ideas, and they come also with fresh energy. Use calendars to plan proactively. You know that there's going to be Christmas in December. And so you have to be proactive by creating the systems, by creating the structure for where you are going to, for what you're going to dealing with, not just trying to be reactive on the go. You can't just wake up 3 days to Christmas to know that there's going to be a carol night or there's going to be Christmas service. Use your calendars to plan proactively for coming activities or events. The fourth one, systemize communication. How are you going to communicate? You need to have a communication policy to say this is how communication is going to be done. Weekly check-ins, tracking people, monthly reports, yearly planning session, annual reports. They are very good way for you to systemize communication. Use digital tools to be able to make sure that there is communication. I mean, I've used Trello. You can use WhatsApp. You can use Planning Center to be able to automate reminders so that people can be structured in how you get things done. Then you align that structure for health. Your systems must not support your mission, not just your preference. Okay, your systems must support your mission, not just what you like or your preference. You must make sure that your systems and your structures are supporting your vision, your mission, your goals, and your objective as a church. Each department should also be evaluated so that they are aligning with the vision and mission of the church and making sure that everything is done well, to make sure that the whole body is well structured and is done well. Now, the last one is action steps for church leaders and pastors to be able to take this sustainability structure to the next level. Audit your current structure. Audit it. Audit your processes. Audit your systems. What is over functioning? What is underperforming? What is not working? What is working? What is underdeveloped? What is overdeveloped? Number two, identify stress points, okay, in your entire process. What are your volunteers and leaders doing? Are they burned out? Do they need refreshing? All right. Three, build with people in mind. Systems are not without human resources. In fact, what brings life to systems is the quality of people that are running the system. So when you are building structures and systems, build with people in mind, because LD systems protect people. Okay, don't build a system that destroys people. Don't build a system that enslaves people or does not make the people's resources, the talent and abilities to flourish. All right, adapt one system every month. Take one system a month and improve. Don't try to overhaul everything at once. Take one chunk at a time. Start with discipleship, start with evangelism, go into onboarding, assimilation, follow-up, or worship service, and things like that. The fifth one is invite outside help. Get a church consultant. Get me on board. Sometimes we're too close and blinded to what's going on in the church that you think you are doing something well. No, you are doing something right. So consider bringing in a church consultant, okay, to be able to look at your entire process and give you his objective and outside perspective or wisdom to your work as a church. Friends, churches don't grow because they want to grow. Yes, you can desire to grow. It does not mean that the church is going to grow because you want it to grow. They grow because they are ready to grow. They grow because they are what? They are ready to grow. And so the readiness is a product of sustainable structures. Lord, give us wisdom to build and courage to evaluate truthfully and grace to grow healthily. Now, if you have any church-related questions for me, please, let's have them in any of the social media handles. You have any question for me, you have any inquiries for me, let's have them, and I'm sure you're going to get more than an answer from me. Perhaps you want to also engage me in conversation. Let's have them. I'm sure you're going to enjoy our conversation. Please, this video has been helpful to you. Do like and share us to your community. Drop me a comment in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you, where you are watching from me. I also want to hear what you. I also want to learn from you. I want to hear what's your perspective about some of the things that we have discussed so far. Drop me a comment in the comment section, and then we will take it to another level. Like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified when we upload a valuable content on our social media handles. We also do consultations for churches. We do revitalization. We do trainings. We do strategic planning. Reach out to us so that we can help you and help your church with excellent church consulting for health, vitality, and result. Thank you for the attention so far, and may God bless each and every one of you as you have a fruitful week ahead and a wonderful Sunday service this week. Till I come your way next week with the continuation of Monday Morning Matters coming your way. I say bye-bye. I love you and God bless you. Thank you so much.